Congratulations, Skull Kid 333. You have won the $100 gift certificate for Lalo Jones at Anchored Eye Studios giveaway. So yeah, congratulations to you. We will contact you on Facebook and get you hooked up with Lalo Jones so you can set up all your winnings and figure out what you're going to do.
Lalo.
Yep, so congratulations. You're the winner, big guy. Welcome back to Comic Talk. I'm Nick Lord.
I'm Stevie Ray Bill.
And we are Omega Level.
Omega Level.
Omega level.
Omega Level.
Omega level.
Omega Level.
Yeah, I think they got it.
Cringe is at an all-time high today, boys.
This week, we're going to discuss the new Donny Cates series, Guardians of the Galaxy.
I think we are done.
What are you doing with, why are you putting that on? What are you doing with the gauntlet?
Heroes in Crisis. Wait, I was just in a black void talking about Steven.
Yeah, and I was sitting right there, so I guess I fully haven't mastered this thing. Well, I was getting sick of Nick's fat mouth, so I thought I'd try you on the show.
Wait, where is Nick? Is he in the same void that I was just in? Are we still talking about Heroes in Crisis?
No. We're talking about Guardians of the Galaxy today. Here, since I guess you haven't read that, I'll give you the knowledge real quick.
Okay, what? Okay, so this week on Comic Talk with, I guess, Steven and I?
Mm-hmm. Stephen Ray Bill.
Stephen Ray Bill. Well, I'm Josh Ryder, and welcome to Comic Talk this week.
Actually, welcome to Omega Level. Omega Level.
Omega level.
Omega Level.
Omega level. Well, I'm still trying to get my bearings about after being in an empty black void. Thought we were going to talk about heroes, but I feel like we're going to have to just jump into Guardians. But before we do that, I think we need to touch a little bit on Infinity War series that leads up into the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, I feel like I just got to have a black void because I just crammed like 6 issues in one day.
Oh, that's always the best thing to do. You're like, info.
Mm-hmm.
Read Prime first and then go into the 6-issue arc because in that Prime, you find out that Thanos dies by a new villain that they made, Requiem.
Yep, which is a follow-up to Requiem for a Dream.
Yep. In case you guys missed last week's There Will Be Analysis, this is a follow-up to Requiem for a Dream. So Darren Aronofsky.
They all fused together from their abuse of heroin and just gained superpowers.
Yep, and Big Tim was there. It was awesome. Thanos, the Mad Titan, died by somebody who seems to be wielding the Power Stone in an awesome suit.
And then she just gassed all the Chitauri.
God, like
they
it
were
was
just like,
nothing.
we will obey you. You killed our master. We follow you. She's like, I don't need you guys. Boom.
Boom, I don't need you. Loki's up to his no good.
Loki goes to Omnipotent City to find out why he never wins, why all his stories seem to end the same with him not sitting on a throne because he feels like he's being tricked by somebody. Meets Floa, who ends up being like the guardian of this library because I believe it was Freya said that gathering all the Asgardian knowledge in one place was not a very good idea, so it needed some sort of protector, and then she promptly tries to kick Loki out.
Oh,
I thought
of
it was
course,
pretty
of course.
funny that she gets like emboldened by being near all those texts and scrolls and stuff.
Well, all that knowledge, that vast knowledge, that glad it was Freya to bring up the idea of let's not keep it in one spot because if Asgard dies, spoiler, Asgard's gone, that you have this library to go back to and find out. But Loki trying to figure out why doesn't he have a good end? Well, I mean, you're a trickster. What are you going to expect? What's the difference here?
Try being a good guy for once.
I mean, just wait a little bit.
They seem to win.
They seem to find a way. You know, Earth's mightiest heroes. It's what they do. But after Prime introduces you to that, you see Loki's up to something. You see Thanos, the Mad Titan, headless. And she's gaining all of the Infinity Stones. And just like Thanos, but different, she wanted to fix the world. She wanted to change the world. Instead of halving the universe by taking half of its life, she fused 2 different universes together to form a brand new universe.
Yes, the Warped World, I
the
believe.
Warped World, which was, I think, manipulated through the Soul Stone, correct?
Yeah, I believe it's...
Like it was a world that lied dormant inside of the Soul World? Or was that something
I think
that
she
jumped
folded
into?
the universe outside the Soul Stone, and then she put everyone that was going against her into the Soul World.
Into the Soul World, and that's where Adam Warlock,
So,
Strange, all of them ended up getting
She
put.
halved life, but in a very creative way. She would make her dad so proud. She is his Requiem.
She is his Requiem. In Guardians, their first objective is to find out why Thanos is being reborn.
Yes, that was an amazing... Probably the best funeral in comic books to ever be seen.
Man,
It's like
awesome.
we've gathered some of the most powerful people in the universe here to celebrate / be concerned for a moment. Like, so Thanos is dead. Here's his headless body. Here's his message for everybody. Here's his own personal eulogy. I'm glad all of my enemies could be here to see the demise of their greatest nemesis.
Yeah, so cocky. God, I love it.
But I am reunited with my Lady Death, and I will be reborn. So fear me.
Yeah.
Even though I'm dead, still fear me.
And I love how he said, "I didn't live a normal life to have
Yeah.
have a normal death." Like, wow. Okay, we get it, dude. You're awesome.
That's a
Thanos,
great
stop.
line.
But to have his own video log about his like, oh, if you found this, I have failed. But just know, I uploaded my memories to some other vessel, and I'm not dead. So my only regret is that I don't get to see you fight over it.
Yes.
So
yes.
whether or not that's even true, it could just be a ploy that get Thanos to be like, oh, they're gonna bicker and fight and like all that stuff.
Yeah, I believe Frank Castle, Ghost Rider, says something about that. And he's like,
Cosmic
he could
Ghost
be
Rider.
right here watching us worry. That sounds like something he would do.
And he said one of us could be that. Like if you start picking out people, like because their first objective is to kill Gamora. That's the only
Yes,
logical thing right now because she was his Requiem.
Yes, his Requiem. So it's the most logical, like, I guess, vessel for him to inhabit.
Mm-hmm.
And then who shows up but the Black Order? Yeah,
Hold on, before we touch on that, can we acknowledge for a split second that they brought in Thanos' brother, Eros, man? That was cool. Like, he was the one giving the eulogy.
My first introduction to him.
Yep.
I was not sure who he was.
Star Fox, I think it was. What's his other name?
Do a barrel roll.
Do barrel roll. They bring him in. He's like, but we have to do this. And they didn't invite the Earth Mightiest Heroes because he didn't think they were capable to do what this group of people would do, a.k.a.
Because they want
kill.
to spare people that have wiped out half the universe.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's just put Thanos in chains. No, let's kill the Mad
Let's
Titan.
just build a better prison.
Yeah, I'm sure this one will work. We have Tony Stark's technology. Okay, calm down. You go into that, and they have Eros break off, and like he said, the Black Order shows up. Really cool that they're going to be involved in this. I mean, they were his heralds. You know, they were the goons that fought for him. They come in, shoot a... I don't know, they didn't say what weapon they used, but it created a black hole, because that's just a trend.
They ripped space.
Oh, they ripped
a hole
space.
in space somehow.
They
I forgot.
ripped a
Their
hole
first
in
introduction was we cut to the Guardians for a moment, or whoever's left of the Guardians. I think it's just Peter.
It's
and,
Star-Lord and...
and Groot, who's like cutting himself, I guess. He's like, can you stop with the sawdust? It's like, I am Groot.
I am Groot. Yeah, I get it. I am Groot to you,
So
too.
they're on their way to nowhere, which is like that decapitated Celestial's head, and it's gone.
Mm-hmm.
Where was it? The Black Order just threw it into Sector X, which is where like they're having their meeting with Thanos' funeral.
Yeah, decapitated body.
Yeah,
Just
so
got a body
that way
there.
they can just recapture his body, so that way they can rebirth him somehow.
And you have Eros trying to study the body. They would have just dumped the corpse, but it still might have some sort of tell for where he is, what he's doing. I mean, I'm not sure.
Because Thanos is crazy like that.
I mean, he
Even
wrote
though
his own eulogy.
He's like, he has no head, but I'm going to keep doing an autopsy just to make sure he's dead.
Just to make... We don't know. We don't know.
It's comic books.
And before we close out the Guardians, the Galaxy first issue, I think we need to backtrack once again because, I mean, that's just kind of what we're good at doing. You know, we're really good at jumping back and forth and back and forth. But
There
I
is
think
no
we
order
make...
here.
There is no order. And to have order, you must have disorder. And that's honestly where we thrive. But where we left off in Infinity War, yeah, I'm going there again. What's up? Is that they have this big fight. They're in the Soul Eaters. The Devondras destroying everything. Jump forward just a smidge, and you have Gamora finally getting taken down, getting beat up a little bit, because they ended up going to in the Soul World, they found Little Gamora.
Little Gamora.
Not the old Gamora that was missing. This is also a person, because apparently there's 2 parts of Gamora missing. That's what
Yeah.
I got from that. I mean, they have the older one and the younger one.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
And the younger one had 6 Infinity Stones.
Her little fun stones.
Her little fun stones. And with these fun stones, they thought it'd be a good idea to return to the Quarry of the Gods and fight Gamora.
Mm-hmm. Which ends up really well for her.
For Gamora?
Yeah, for Gamora. Loki, I guess, somehow, because these stones are different, they don't go with who you think they would. Like, Hulk, you would normally think, oh, he would definitely have the Power Stone, but I guess somehow, like, his power amplifies the power of the Soul Stone, I guess?
Space Stone.
Space Stone.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever. I'm not going to get too far into that. I'm not a gemologist.
Man, yeah. Comic book logic, man. It's awesome, but it's weird.
Comic book logic.
But Loki divvies out the stones to who he thinks that they would best represent and help out in a time of crisis.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they were able to knock out Gamora. They had Hulk with the Space Stone
Hulk
absolutely just
went absolutely stupid on her. I
Oh,
don't know how
man.
she lived.
And of course, with this aftermath, breaking her sword, she no longer has her Infinity Stone, and
Loki collects them all.
Loki, of course,
Which
the
obviously
trickster.
everyone's just like, I don't know how we let him out of our sight.
Like, he should be the number one. I mean, obviously Gamora is, but Loki should be like very close. Of like, okay, keep an eye on this dude.
Yes.
He obtains the stones and then says, don't remember the exact dialogue, but he basically says, "Until I see you again." phases into the God Quarry,
Yep.
and
Which,
goes into a new, I guess...
He goes into the Universe Prime.
Universe Prime.
I guess the very original, and it just seems like there's just a bunch of Celestials just chilling there,
with
seemingly.
stones everywhere.
Yes, stones everywhere.
Of the same colors.
It seems like he's just talking to them. He's like, why'd you create these? For your use or for ours? Or like, why are you like tossing them around or whatever? And one of them starts reaching for him. He's like, whoa, let's not get carried away here. He just points to like, I guess, the edge of the universe. It was a pretty nice panel. It was like reminiscent.
Didn't Loki just laugh?
Yes, it was like he's just laughing for whatever he sees. I guess he sees the future, and it's like kind of reminiscent of how the first page of Infinity Wars was, where it was just Gamora's face, just saying that there's something missing.
Mm-hmm.
And so Loki sees into the future, is just like, well, I guess I don't need these anymore or whatever.
Yeah, he immediately was like, well, I don't need these. Goes back and is like, here you go.
Here you guys are. Just try to prevent the collapse of the multiverse.
I'm
going back to Omnipotent City.
Yep.
So yeah, after Loki gives them back the stones, we're just going to cut forward real quick so that way we can actually wrap up Guardians. They save Soul World, like they save the Warped World and the normal world. They like make a copy of everyone, put them in the little Warp World. Before they make the Gamora's first, just like the only way to save both of these worlds is let Devondre eat everyone, and I'll make a universe out of the threads. Hulk's just like, screw that. I'm gonna punch the ever-loving hell out of Devondre with this soul gem and just create a black hole. Logic. So Drax and Warlock, I think, I believe they're the ones that somehow hold open this black hole and like invert it or something, so that way both these universes can be separated. They both jump through their respective hole. I think they might have sacrificed themselves.
Soldier Supreme's still living though.
Soldier
he gets his
Supreme's
world.
Still living, and Arachnite and Iron Hammer and all them.
And he starts the Defenders, is what I'm
Hopefully
pretty
we
sure.
get another like ultimate comic book universe with all of them or something. Regardless, cuts back to Earth. Warlock now has all the gems. Everyone's starting to argue for whatever reason.
Like, because whenever you get the stones, nobody ever does the right thing. Like, they always kind of, like, repeat history no matter what happens. Because you have the power of infinite. There is, like, what do you do?
So Warlock, amidst all these heroes bickering, he's pauses time. He's just like, he's pondering, just like what you said, is like, these stones usually always cause the corruption of whomever. And so, what he thinks he does what's best. He teleports Gamora away because everyone's, like, threatening to kill her. And I guess he wants her to still be around because Peter Quill's still alive in this universe, so that might be the reason that she stays grounded and doesn't lose her mind again.
Yep.
And everyone's asking, where'd you send Gamora? He's like, I think I sent her to the place where she can do the most good.
Which is really nice.
In addition to teleporting Gamora away so she can do whatever that she's going to do in Guardians, hopefully not die.
Yeah.
Because everyone's hunting her now. He did something that I think is really interesting, and I don't really know what to think. This is going to have some huge implications for the future. He gave all the Infinity Stones souls.
They think for themselves now. They don't need...
They think for themselves.
Yeah, they don't technically need a wielder.
Because they were all just like, we need to separate the stones again. He's like, well, I'm going to try something that we haven't done.
Yeah,
Because we split them apart how many times now? They always end up getting gathered. This universe apparently is really small.
Yeah, and they do like the Dragon Balls. They just shoot up in the sky and shoot away.
Yeah, except everyone's
except
just like,
one.
so Warlock, you're going to keep yours, right? He's like, yeah, we have a special friendship. And it's just like, I'm out.
And that's pretty much how the end of Infinity Wars goes in. Obviously, we missed a couple parts. We want you to go back and read it.
That's usually how friendships go, is people just leave.
Yep. We want you to go back and read it. It's an excellent series. Obviously, there's a little bit of confusion because it's comics and it's just a huge, very important series. Like, it's really cool how they broke that down, made a new villain, even though it's Gamora, but she is a new villain as Requiem.
It's a very fun read.
Yes, very fun
and
read.
Somewhat confusing.
And as it leads into Guardians, man, it picks up like, boom, okay, we need to figure out where's Thanos, why is he being reborn, and who. So
Why does
we're
he
gonna
still
kill
not have a
Gamora.
head?
Yeah. We have the Black Order come in, they do their thing, kill most of the people.
Yes, because they got sucked into that little space-time rip.
Moondragon
But-
survived, Phyla survived,
Beta Ray Bill survived.
Beta Ray Bill survived, Cosmic Ghost Rider
yeah.
survived, and they all end up on the Guardian
Because
ship.
they were all getting sucked in, but then guess what? Whatever Beta Ray Bill's hammer is, just straight up guides them out.
See, I thought in the comics they didn't say what he's using up. I thought he used Stormbreaker. I thought that was his thing.
It
Yeah.
probably is Stormbreaker.
And they go on there, and of course, Novacorp's like, "Hey, these guys are coming with us. We have questions." And they're like, "That." And of course, Star Lord was
I
like,
need a warrant.
"Yeah, you need a warrant to get on my ship." He's like, "That's different for when it's your crew, but this is still very tentative." And he's like, well, they're my crew now. And then, of course, Ghost Rider's like,
this
nope.
isn't the old ship. This is called Ryder. He's like, named after Winona?
no, the Nova said something. He made another reference like, oh, this. And then Star-Lord said, no, Winona.
Yeah, Winona. And then cut back to like where the Black Order took Thanos' corpse. I guess they were delivering it to Hela.
And you have Proxima putting the pieces together, having the body there, still needing to find a head, saying, don't play with death. You can't play with Lady Death, even if you are the goddess of death. Last page turned Hela. Oh.
Yes, I am very excited to keep reading this issue.
Man,
or this
seriously,
series.
peaks on high. For all we know, like they've already killed off like people like the Silver Surfer. Eros is gone. I mean, oh my God, from the jump. I don't think they are.
Surfer's dead?
They said that because he was in that room.
Because he got sucked into
he was in that
right.
room. I hope
These
he's
people
not
are
dead.
very likely not dead.
Yeah, I mean, the same writer does Thanos wins, and the Silver Surfer was still alive in that, wasn't he? Or he ended up at the very end. He was
killed.
He got killed at
They
the
should
end.
have implanted his head on the hill Mjolnir.
Oh, damn. Yep, there's that. But that pretty much wraps up Guardians. Really recommend you reading
Doesn't wrap
that.
it up. We got at least a few more issues.
Yep,
to go.
never mind. I got about 30 minutes. So going into the very last second of the Guardian series, where they show Hela again, and I want to talk about her design, and I really like it. And stop me, Steven.
Omega Level is proudly sponsored by Ink or Dye Studios, a unique combination of a tattoo parlor and hair salon. Located at 270 North Dakota Street by Flanagan's, Ink or Dye Studios employs the best artists and stylists around. Boasting a friendly atmosphere, helpful, talented, and incredibly creative staff, Ink or Dye Studios is the only tattoo shop and hair salon you'll ever need. Stop in, call, or contact them through their social media accounts today to set up an appointment.
The March to Endgame.
Yes, this week we are talking about Spider-Man Homecoming.
Great movie. Awesome, strong origin movie,
okay.
too. Okay, and this is how we start.
So upon a rewatch, this might now be in my top 3, if not number 1 Marvel movie.
This is going to be exciting for our next 2 films, man. I wonder if BP is going to stand up there. 3, possibly number 1,
Man, rewatching Black Panther, after I rewatched that entered my top 3, if not number 1.
From the jump, I really like dealing with the aftermath of Civil War. You have your little...
God, yes, one of the best intros, his little cell phone footage.
cell phone footage. He's just, like, recording everything. Happy's like, why are you doing that? You're not supposed to send this to anybody. He's like, I know.
He's like, oh my God, like, I was there, and Ant-Man was all giant, and I totally came in and swiped Cap's shield, and Happy just walks in and is like, these walls are very thin.
Yes. You got to remember, he's 15 years old in this movie, 14 in Civil War.
Yeah, I forgot. He has that argument with Iron Man. He's like, I'm 15. He's like, this is where you shut up.
This is where you shut up. God, Tony was used very well in this.
Yes.
He wasn't too much, but he was just enough.
Not too much, but their relationship is so great. And it actually makes sense, like, how Spider-Man would actually get his tech is because of Iron Man. Like,
Yeah, given that awesome suit. Like, where would this
he
kid
gets
that has no
his
job...
awesome suit stolen away. He goes back to just making a crappy handmade one.
Still looked good, though. I like that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's obviously handmade, but I thought the design was cool.
Also, just like, I like the fact that Spider-Man, usually in the comic books, he does have his little gadgets. And they actually introduced him in this movie because of Tony. He's got his little tracking spider. He's got his little, like, recon, his drone. He's got 550-something, like, different combinations of web shooters.
Oh, man.
But Karen always wants to just use lethal.
Lethal
No, I
shot
don't wanna
engaged.
kill anybody.
And something pretty cool about that Karen is Jennifer Connelly voices her. And her husband is Paul Bettany, who voiced Jarvis and is now Vision. So I'm assuming that she's going to become Miss Vision. And that.
Oh, my gosh.
Okay, that's a little far-fetched, but I did think that's pretty cool that she voiced him.
Mr. and Mrs. Karen.
Mr. and Mrs. Karen. But you see Spider-Man dealing with, he was from Civil War, and he's like, wow, I'm feeling included. I'm feeling like a real hero. But then Tony's like, hey, be that friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. You don't, you're 15
Spider-Man's
years
just gonna
old.
Keep calling Happy. Like, he has a
Oh,
serious
my
case of,
gosh.
like, stalker syndrome.
I mean, they show the text messages, like just a bunch of them. He's like,
hey,
hey.
man, I'm free after school. If you need me, I'm down to do my next mission.
And he gave him that daily update, the staircase when he's on the building. When he's sitting over there, he's like, I stopped somebody from stealing a bike. I didn't find the guy whose bike it was.
Yeah, he leaves a little note on it.
Yeah.
God, that was his little crime spree. His little crime busting montage is so great.
Oh my God,
because he
Stan
just, like,
Lee's
ends
cameo.
up interfering more than anything.
Yes.
Like, dude's just trying to break into his own car. It was like in his own driveway. He's like, nope, you're not going. He was like, dude, it's my car. He was like, hey, I got to work today.
I got
You
work
shut
today.
up down there. He's like, whoa, just calm down. And yeah, Stan Lee cameo.
He's like, hey, you quiet down there. And he's like, is that you? And he's like, oh, Marjorie, how's your mother? Like, solid cameo.
And also, Spider-Man. Hey, thank you, Spider-Man. Do a flip.
Oh, Spider-Man do the flip guy. arguably my favorite part of the entire movie.
The best casting name.
And didn't realize till I was rewatching that his voice was extremely high when he said that. I just thought he was like, hey, yelling. No, he's like, hey, yelling. It's like he was at a different octave than I thought he was.
Yes, I think the first time I watched that, I was kept giggling throughout the rest of the movie, so I missed parts.
But seeing Spider-Man trying to be more than just a friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, and he keeps going behind Tony, doing these big things, trying to follow who we find out at the beginning of the movie, Michael Keaton Vulture. Wow. Awesome job.
Yeah, which
seriously.
I remember when they casted him and said that the Vulture was going to be the villain, I was just like very unenthused.
Yep, I remember that. Yep.
Yeah.
But did he change your
like,
mind?
Oh, yeah, obviously. Like, Vulture's design in this movie, it's possibly what also like helped me actually care about the character, because usually the comic book one is a little bit silly.
Yes,
but,
like
they
actually made
use,
him
like, the
vulturous.
alien tech, fully like mobile. You can actually cut things with it and do all sorts of stuff.
To say, like, you see these they show the suit in this open area as big thing, and you're trying to tell me that they were able to put it in the back of a truck, like just... I mean, it wasn't even that big of a truck. I mean, sure, you can compress it down and maybe make it smaller, but every time it's wings out. That's the only reason.
Because remember, when they're on that plane, it's like it airlocks and stuff. It does look pretty small there.
True. When you're talking about when they were invading, trying to take the plane from Iron Man and all that.
Yeah, when they're like phasing into it and like stealing all his stuff. The Iron Man tech and whatnot.
Yeah, awesome sequence towards the end too. That fight sequence was really cool. Spider-Man growing during this movie. Obviously, he hacked him and Ned, who I love Ned, his little man in the chair. Guy in the chair, man. Guy in the chair. Going back and forth during the one scene where he's trying to...
I had to scratch my neck. I had like a hanging hair.
This guy has a hanging hair, everybody.
I'm so
Jeez. Well, bathe, dude. God. Sorry, viewers and listeners.
Sorry, Jeff.
Sorry, Jeff and Brittany and my lovely aunt, Terry. Thank you. Shout out. I couldn't say that because I was in the void last week, but I can today. Very strong origin movie. My rating still stayed the same. I enjoyed it just as much. There was no increase. There was no decrease. Tom Holland is my favorite Peter.
Oh, yeah, for sure. He absolutely nails the performance.
Absolutely.
Like, he
in
just
and
nails,
out of
like,
the suit.
The awkwardness of like being a teenager.
Oh, my God. And the super cringy high school scenes.
Yes, I love that. Like, you just see, like, they're talking about prom's upcoming. Do you have a date, Marion, or whatever? She's like, yeah, I do. Just zooms on his face. Like, oh. Also, I think God, that Monument Tower scene was so good.
That was, I think, the best choreographed scene of the movie.
Oh yeah,
Just
I had one of the funniest moments where like he saves. It's not MJ. I forgot her name.
The Vulture's daughter. We'll go with that.
The Vulture's daughter. That's her credit name. Saves her. Karen's just like, this is your moment, Peter. Kiss her. Starts falling. The elevator collapses, and the teacher's just like, thank you. Flash is just like, are you really friends with Peter? Just overly,
that's Flash's only thing, because he treats him like crap.
About his safety.
This entire movie, Flash is the worst. We're not going to get into that. He's garbage.
Also, they provided a history lesson in this. Apparently, Monument Tower was built by slaves.
Yeah, and that's why MJ didn't want to say anything to do with it. Not the same MJ.
Is she going to be the next Mary Jane? Yeah, because they called her Michelle.
Her name's Michelle.
Definitely
Friends call her
at, like,
MJ.
some sort of like relationship, because also when she wasn't in detention, but
no, she was in detention that one time with Hannibal
she was
Buress.
in detention
Like,
that one time.
even
I'm
here.
talking about like when she's talking about Peter and like what he's doing. They're like, oh, I'm not stalking him. I'm just very observant.
Oh, they're at band.
Oh, it's band.
Oh, no.
Oh yeah, because she
Debate
says like
club.
he's already
Debate
quit.
club.
Yeah, he's already quit band and something else.
And they all look at her like, he's like, I'm not obsessed with him or anything.
She's one of the most like apathetic people.
Yeah, I didn't care for her that much. I thought some of her things hit,
I thought she was amusing.
but I just felt like she was there just to kind of like add that dry humor when needed.
Yeah.
Not bad, but didn't blow me away. But seeing the monument scene, also, can we acknowledge that the teacher has seen death on a field trip before?
Yes. Yeah, after that whole field trip, he's on like he's in an interview, and he's like, "I'm just glad that all the students made it out safe. I couldn't bear to lose another one. Not again."
Okay.
And also, like, I know that
just in passing.
they already had the trailer for the next movie, Far From Home, and it seems like Mysterio's in it. Well,
Yes.
he definitely
Yeah,
is.
he's
in
definitely in it.
But this after credits scene showed that Scorpion's supposed to be appearing.
I mean, that could be a setup for something even bigger, too, because they're in prison. So now he's teaming up with Vulture,
so
who
does it
wouldn't
be
reveal his identity,
So
because
I
Vulture
guess that
knows.
could be them forming the Sinister Six in prison.
Yep.
Okay.
And Vulture knows who the identity is, but still kept it hidden.
Yeah. Maybe that's just because he gave his daughter a good time.
Probably.
But not too good of a good time.
But not too good of a good time. But I think that's a good spot to wrap up. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to do stuff, the things that one guy says, because I'm just the backdrop here. Like, comment, subscribe. Honestly, I hope you guys enjoyed that thing. I'm sorry for so much backtracking, jumping forward, backtracking. That's kind of, like I said, we're good at that.
Can't have order without disorder.
Boom.
Thanks for tolerating.
Tolerating, mainly Steven. Please, I hope I'm not in a void next week. Please don't put me in a void next week. Oh, put the gauntlet away. Put the gauntlet away.
Okay. I'll give you one more chance.
Thanks, man.